Craigley.
I'm
And that's Rob McGee. And this is Real Talk with Rob and Craig on Thursday, the 4th of August
4th,
2022. I don't know what he's got another world's worst joke.
But we're starting every show with a dumb dad joke or just a dumb joke.
It's just a dumb joke.
So here it is. Are you ready? Here's our joke of the week. Why are seagulls called seagulls and they live at the sea? Because if they lived at the bay, they'd be called bagels.
So, the quote of the week is not as good as last time. We missed last week, and that's my fault. I'm kind of getting back in the swing of things. Keep in mind, I'm a 5-stunner, so that's my excuse. I can't use it much longer, though.
Well, as long as you have the stents, I guess you can.
Anyway, there are always flowers for those who want to see them. I guess that means you should stop and smell the roses along the way.
I think
because it's thorny.
I think what it's saying is look for the flowers, look for the good things, ignore the bad. Don't get focused.
I don't think you can ignore the bad. I think you have to accept it sometimes because, biblically speaking, of course, bad things happen to good people.
Yes, they do.
And it's part of as you get tested, and we all get tested.
Sure.
How the choices that we make to get through those opportunities are what helps us prevail and be bigger and better people in the long run.
I like it. So you make that a good quote.
I just made that up.
That's good.
As we went. Hey, new home trends in June, they dove down 8.1%.
Yeah.
And are now down, man,
17.4.
Yeah.
Year over year. So a 17.4 reduction in new home sales from this time last year. That's significant.
Pending home sales dropped 8.6% in June. So we're going back a couple months because that's when really the market of sales starts.
That's when they have the data all compiled. So
it's, and of course it says that median prices are up 7.4% from last year.
We're continuing to see valuation increase. Why? Sales are down. Valuation is continuing up. Why? We're still short of inventory. There's more inventory now than there was 6 months ago, but there's still not enough homes. It's not what you would call a traditional inventory level. We're way behind where a normal inventory level set. And here in the Pacific Northwest, and it's true in most of the country, but for sure in the Pacific Northwest, we are still a year behind in new construction and housing starts. And so that is impacting availability of homes, and consequently, it's impacting that inventory level. So,
where did you get that data?
That's from one of the reports I read. I can't quote it.
He can't read, so you know that's not true.
I may have been on the radio.
This week's forecast: construction spending up, manufacturing and services are down. There's more jobs. How is that possible with the fact that we just had a conversation with Jason Knapp, who is our Senior Vice President of Secondary
Marketing?
How is that possible when we're in a recession?
So, well, first off, the experts are not calling it a recession, but the United States did just report the second quarter in a row of reduction. Traditionally, that means you're officially in a recession. They're holding off on saying that. And there's a few reasons for that.
Let's hear.
Well, they say we're still transitioning out of the COVID economy, and they're still waiting for supply chain issues to be resolved. And because of that, they're not applying the label recession to our economic period. However, every other time in history, they would say we're in a recession right now because it's been 2 quarters reported of drops. So I think it's likely to continue. We still are seeing low unemployment. But we're still dealing with, they are right about one thing. We're still dealing with the consequences of COVID and the pandemic. supply chain issues are still affected. Many employers and businesses are not back to normal production or normal operating procedure. If you don't believe me, try going into a McDonald's. Many of them are still closed. You have to go through a drive-through. So we're not back to business as usual. We're still feeling the effects of that, and I don't know exactly when it's going to be back to normal, but it's not there yet.
Does anybody?
I don't think anybody really does. The Federal Reserve is trying to predict it, and one of the things I was going to talk about is Federal Reserve Watch. Everybody always asks Craig and I, what are rates going to be doing? Are we going to continue to go up? Are we going to level off? If you follow the Fed, they just announced another 0.75 point rise. And I had people call me that day and say, oh no, 0.75%. Does that mean my interest rate, I'm shopping for a house and my interest rate just went up 0.75%? No, that's the Fed rate. It does not impact the market directly. So when the Fed raises 0.75, doesn't mean we raise 0.75. See, he's shaking his head. But it can have a trickle effect, and you can see rates follow the Fed. Fortunately, right now, the market is responding favorably to the Fed raising rates because it means they believe that we're going to get inflation under control. As we've talked to you about before, the reason our rates are so high right now is because inflation is so high. If inflation is under control, you will see interest rates drop, or most experts believe that, if it follows a normal trend. So if the Federal Reserve is serious about getting inflation under control, you might see some relief. Craig?
So you just said that in a normal circumstance or in the past, traditionally speaking, we would be in a recession.
Right.
However, then you just also said that traditionally, based on everything.
Right.
So isn't it kind of contradicting itself?
What Craig's making the point.
I'm trying to.
All we can really do is take our best educated guess. And one of the ways we have a best educated guess is we look at what's happened at similar times in history. And that kind of informs our opinions. We're in an unprecedented period right now. The worldwide economy is still reeling from the effects of the pandemic. And so that's making the new trends are not necessarily following history. So, however, I will say the Fed raised its rate 0.75%, and our interest rates did not go up. So that's a positive sign. It could mean that the market is going to respond as we are hoping, and that when inflation gets under control, we'll start to see rates fall. But we're just guessing.
I don't know.
I know. You are we've had different opinions on this most of this year. Part of what's informing me is I want rates to fall. We've got a lot of clients looking for homes. Everybody wants lower rates. We're at a 15-year high. Nobody wants to be there. We want to see them come back down. So I'm hoping that the market follows these traditional cues, but it may not. Craig is more conservative than I am, and he's, tends to be a realist. He's thinking, it may not happen, and he could be right, but let's hope he's wrong.
I hope I'm wrong, too. Hey, I was driving down the highway the other day, about 90 miles an hour, and I got pulled over by State Patrol.
Is this true?
Yeah. State Patrol said, hey, do you know how fast you were going? And I said, I think I was going about 85, 90. And he said, yeah. He said, why? I said, well, about 25 years ago, my first wife ran away with a State Patrol officer, and I was concerned you were bringing her back. Now, that's a funny joke. That's a funny joke, right there.
Well, yeah, we started with a funny joke, and we ended with a funny joke.
Why not?
I'm calling both of them funny.
Well, you can, but nobody's.
That's all we got. Call us if you have questions about rates or trends, or you're looking at a house.
What's your phone number, Rob?
253-376-3044. What's yours, Craig?
360-265-3786. Hey, great things are coming up this weekend. We are going to celebrate the life of two people that we have been blessed to know, with Karen Scholes on Saturday and Archie Paul, I'm going to say the name wrong.
Parjamula.
Parjamula We're doing his memorial ride on Sunday. Anybody wants to ever do anything with the Christian Motorcycle Association, the Ambassadors for Christ, you're always welcome to reach out to us. Robb's a member, Lana's a member. I'm the president of the chapter in Kitsap County, and we are very thankful for growing and growing and growing. We're going to have 2 more new members, so that brings us up to 11. Is that correct? This year, we are growing in a market that a lot of chapters are on a decline. And why do you think that is, Rob?
Well, because you're making it fun.
I'm not making it fun. We're.
Yeah. We have fun. And you know, when you're doing something on your time off, you want it to be fun, and this is fun.
Yeah, which is funny that you say that. See what I did there? Funny.
That's punny.
Before I became president, we were at the house and we were watching a video from Jared, and I don't know Jared's last name. I'm not supposed to talk about this, but I'm going to. But I wasn't sure that I was the best fit until they said, if you don't make your chapter meetings fun and your life fun, then you're not going to have a chapter to help.
Yeah.
And so that was something that Ken and I and Lana and Christina, we all kind of thought, let's do something that makes it enjoyable. So one of the things that I love is donuts. And don't we have free donuts there?
Every weekend. Free donuts, free coffee.
And it's, you know what, it is a fun time.
Yeah.
Jim Corey is...
If you don't get there early, the maple bars are gone.
Yeah. But you know what, I've grown to like maple bars too. With bacon.
Oh yeah, that's good. Who would have thought that? Lana just made a face. Have you ever had one, Lana?
Sounds gross.
It's like a pancake.
You gotta try it.
It's like a pancake with maple syrup.
That's
Seriously,
right. Yeah.
delicious. All right. Hey, please like and subscribe to this channel, as well as you can see us on Facebook. Lana's going to learn how to put this on Instagram because we don't know.
Oh, also, I'm sorry. I forgot. This Saturday, Brenda Kelly, one of our great realtors, is having an open house at a beautiful lakefront home, Gravelly Lake in Lakewood. I'm going to be there with her.
What's the address?
I don't know. The Gravelly Lake. Look up Brenda Kelly. Open from 11 to 2 on Saturday. We're both going to be there. If you want to come and look at a beautiful $2 million property, come and look at it. It's worth it just for the price of admission. So that's it.
The price of
admission.
That's in Lakewood, is what he's saying.
Lakewood.
And he didn't say that. Gravelly Lake in Lakewood, Washington. So if you're in Missouri, and a lot of people from Missouri like to watch this.
It's going to be a long ride from Missouri, but you can make it. You're welcome.
All right. I'm Craig Lee.
I'm Robb McGee.
And that's Real Talk with Robb and Craig.